Thank you so much. I think I've heard many people talking about this issue, and it concerns me a lot and gives me pause for concern. Yesterday, I was teaching at Legon, those doing masters in industrial relations,
Mm.
and this was part of the subject matter, not necessarily the nurses issue, but talking about labor collective agreement, its history, and the framework and the effect on the economy as the case may be. So, to be very honest with you, I've heard many people saying that agreement has been reached. It is not to be negotiated again. It's for implementation. It's not correct.
Mm.
In industrial relations, when you are negotiating, when you have concluded the negotiation, when you are to implement the negotiation, it's all subject to review.
Okay.
Now, the parties that sat to negotiate the condition of service, if one party has a genuine concern, it has to be raised. But you can't raise it on your own terms. That is that you cannot do it unilaterally.
Okay.
The social partner with whom you negotiated with, you have to invite them. You sit and explain why you are having the concern you are having. And under Section 97 of the Labour Act, you have to share that relevant information with one another. And when you finish that, and there is no conclusion between the two of you, what it means is that you have not been able to reach agreement on the implementation process. Agreement concluded is for implementation. Implementation stage is also an action to be taken.
Mm.
And so if you have a problem, you discuss it. If one party do not agree, you go to the National Labour Commission for assistance, or you go to a mediator for assistance. This is not something you have to go for arbitration per se. The arbitration will produce a winner and a loser.
Okay.
And one person will not be happy. It will create the furore like the type we are seeing now. So wisely, you get somebody with the background of that experience to assist the two parties to resolve the differences. I think the Labour Commission has the capacity. We have several other people who can assist them to do it.
Okay.
But to say that it is not to be negotiated again, it's not entirely correct.
All right.
And two, if you are to even implement agreement, and I'm unable as an employer to implement it according to what we have done, that discussion is negotiation. So people should not be fixated with the word negotiation as if it's something that is strange. It's not strange.
Okay. Now, Mr. Gamey, I mean, you talked about the fact that while that can be renegotiated, or you also make the point that it cannot be unilateral. So let's look at the positions here. Now, government says we cannot pay this year because it will throw our budget out of gear. It's going to cost $2 billion, and that's something we cannot do. Under the circumstance, would it have been, say, appropriate for government to probably have made an offer and say we can pay this amount while we pay the remainder this year, or the wholesale we cannot pay is the right way to go in a negotiation of this nature?
That is the reason why the labor law made provision for this kind of conversation. And you cannot be on strike and having that conversation. The law forbids, whether in Ghana, whether in Japan, whether in America, whether in Azerbaijan, the law forbids for anybody to be on strike at the same time having a discussion. It's not a war zone. It's a labor relations matter. So you don't have to even put on red band according to the law. You cannot be threatening somebody, hold somebody hand at the back, and you say, come on, let's stop on my terms. This is like you are dictating to the person. It's a unilateral approach, which the employer is being accused of, that the union is also visiting on the employer. So both parties have to sit down, have a civilized conversation. If it's going to be a payment plan, you bring your offer. You also bring your offer, not even position. My position is this. Our position is this. It's positional negotiation. And it's not part of our labor law at all. It's lack of knowledge that's creating the problem.
Okay.
So I think that I would plead with both parties. They will have to, the unionized people within the nursing fraternity, they know that they have to go back to work and let them employer also get away from the poster everybody else is talking about. Let them go to the table, go and sit down and have a conversation about any plan that is worth implementing. You can't force the employer to pay you when they cannot afford to pay. You cannot do that. You can't force a horse to a riverside to go and drink water. He will put his mouth inside, he will not drink. There are several ways that the employer can ask them to be paid.